it felt like a cylinder of ice cold air that I walked through. And then it was as if someone took their hand and hit me and held me down on that ottoman. So because I'd been calling the dog's name, my Scotty dog came up out of the family room, and as I was being held down, he started to growl as if he was looking at what was holding me down, and he looked terrified, and he tried to get beside me, and when he did, I could feel the cold air move away, and then the pressure came off so I could get up, and he got between me like a dog would to they kind of protect you, and the cold air kind of moved off this way, and he watched as if it moved away. And I was petrified, and I said out loud, "You're scaring me, I want you to go away." Anyway, I had to go back, and I was finishing the butter tarts, and I thought at the time, okay, I'm crazy. And I will never speak of this. I remember thinking that, but when Gerald got home from work that day, he was like, "Oh, butter tarts, yay." And I was like, "Wow, you'll never believe what happened to me."
Most of us have heard a ghost story or of haunted houses. The idea is a worldwide phenomenon, but the skepticism is always there. But what you just heard was Leslie, a grandmother and bank manager at a credit union, describing what she believes to be a terrifying paranormal encounter in her Abbotsford home.
Ghost stories and that, they were just ghost stories, I think, until it happens to you. That's probably the scariest I've ever been, because I thought, okay, somehow feeling it or thinking that there's something there is totally different than the feeling of being held down by it. I guess when you first say something outside your circle of family or friends that you trust, that you're open to being judged. And I said, I think I'm beyond that, because I think you hope people believe you, and then you get to the point where it doesn't matter, you know what you know. So
in an effort to find out what is truly going on in their home, Leslie and her husband Gerald have enlisted the help of the Vancouver Paranormal Society and have agreed to describe to me the events that have been going on in their home, in the hope that it may help others who are dealing with similar type of incidents to find some relief and answers that they're seeking.
I think this, where we're sitting, is kind of a hot spot, although it's usually cold. If we were in the family room where we spend most of our time, you would sense that someone is entering the room. So you'd look up with that anticipation of, oh, who's here? And then you realize there's no one else who lives here. But you really sense or feel that there's a presence there. And the dogs would look and they'd growl.
They'd growl. They'd usually stare like up into an area, and they would just sit there and just look.
And watch.
Incidences continued to happen around their house, such as odd shadows and cupboards opening up and closing on their own. And Gerald began to notice a very unpleasant smoke smell that he couldn't avoid. Was there anything else that happened before you contacted VPS?
I did bump into it once. I'd come home from grocery shopping. I'm putting groceries away, but I'm hot, so I thought, I'm just going to run down to the bedroom and put something cooler on. And when I entered the bedroom door, it was literally like, pow, I ran into someone. Totally invisible, just the feeling of running into a person. And then...
Like a physical or cold feeling?
Yes, and then the air kind of really swirled. You could feel like a swirling wind, and then it swirled, and literally like on a cartoon, there was a black hole in the floor that the air went in, this circle of air went into and disappeared. And I stood there going, wow.
To be honest with you, I could sit there on my chair and I could smell the smoke, and I say, well, can't you smell it? She'd look at me, she'd say no. I said, well, this is just making me sick. So I tried to put the mask on, I'd do whatever I could. And to the point where even if, with my legs up on my chair, and I was blowing, like trying to blow air, and it would blow it away, and it would go away for a while, and then it would just start to woof back in at me. And I'm thinking, okay, there's got to be something not right here, because I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe I am losing my mind. And then watching, like when she was mentioning, watching taps, I was kind of looking at different things that was going on and thinking, okay, well, maybe I'm not that real crazy, because here they are, and there's some of the things that are on there that I'm experiencing. So let's contact them. Let's find out.
With the VPS having concluded their investigation and sharing their findings with Leslie and Gerald, I asked them, in the end, how did they feel about their experience, and would they redo it if they could, or avoid it altogether?
Like for me, I'm not a thrill seeker. I've never been on a roller coaster. I don't like rides. I don't like that sort of thing. If I get to a point where you're going to be scared, I'm the chicken. I'll say, no, I pass. So, but because it just happened and I can't change it, I think it made me question other things and open your mind. So I guess I'd have to say I wouldn't say no. But then going forward, just if they're listening, if that was just a taste of what could happen, like I don't want another scary incident. So yeah, I guess I'd choose no then maybe.
The VPS findings that were shared with Leslie and Gerald and myself cannot be quantified by any scientific measure, but have brought some more understanding to those affected. And while Leslie realizes that there will always be skeptics, both Leslie and Gerald maintain that they're regular folks that have experienced something extraordinary.
I understand that skepticism that people have. But then I challenge people that I know I was held down. I know what that feels like. It's bloody scary, and you don't want to feel, and I don't think I'm a crazy person. I have my moments, but I think I'm a pretty average, normal person, and we do average, normal things, and it's not drug-induced or hallucinations. I think it's real what happened.
With Leslie and Gerald's investigation wrapped up, part 2 of this feature takes us to a Vancouver suburb, to another alleged active house, and focuses on the VPS members themselves and how they go about conducting an investigation. We hope you join us next time. For Langara News, I'm Dennis Page.